How you doing, guys? It's the Lord Humongous from RuleTheWasteland.com, and today I wanted to talk about another option for emergency food supplemental storage, or for bug out bags, or just any type of emergency where you want to have a stockpile of calories, nutrition that you can just put somewhere and forget about it. Because I talk a lot about you know, eat what you store what you eat, rotating food supplies. But I do kind of do a disservice by not mentioning that that is just a preference, and because it makes a lot of sense, especially financially, to do that. But there is another option for people who don't want to constantly rotate out their food, or do a lot of, or eat things that are necessarily have that kind of shelf life. You know, maybe you eat a lot of fresh food and vegetables and stuff. You're really not big into the preparedness lifestyle and just want to be able to buy things, put it away, knowing that you have these emergency food stores that will last, you know, decades probably, and just not have to worry about it. So that is certainly an option, and I'm going to do another video on that in the future. And it is more expensive, but it certainly is an option to just do the set it and forget it type model of prepping. And the reason I talk about store what you eat what you store is mostly for financial reasons, and but there is certainly an option to just spend money, put away a nice stockpile of food, and not have to worry about it for a while. And one option for that would be something like survival tabs. And these are a small, basically a pill, chewable pill, that you can put into a bug out bag, or you can just have a few boxes of it lying around. And it's meant to be a supplemental nutrition source for any long-term food storage. Now, on their website and in their literature, they do mention, and I don't like that they do this because I think that's kind of a little bit off track, but it says it's a 15-day food ration, or 15-day food supply is what it says on some places like Amazon. And they explain more if you actually go in depth and read that it really isn't meant to be a specific exclusive source of food. It is meant to be that margin of difference between eating nothing and having actual nutrition to supplement whatever else you may be getting, because it's rare that you'll be in a situation where there's absolutely nothing to eat. I mean, you can go out in your backyard and pick dandelions, maybe shoot the occasional squirrel, like I'd mentioned in my past video. Even though I wouldn't rely on that as a food source, you will hopefully be able to find some things lying around. And the survival tabs are meant to be to finish up that margin and give you your nutrition, and do it in a format that is easily digestible and easily stored, dense caloric value, and last a long time. So I wouldn't look at this as a food supply per se. Like, you're not just gonna say, oh, I need 6 months of food, so let me go out and buy 6 months of the survival tabs for how many per day. That's not really what these are meant for, in my opinion. And I think the makers of this would probably agree for the most part. And they come in a tab like this, like a big tub like this, and they have 4 different flavors. They have chocolate, butterscotch, and strawberry, and vanilla. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, because I actually haven't ever eaten any of these before, and I got these little samples. But I want to talk a little bit more about how these compare to other things that you could store or throw in your bug out bag, and what you might want to choose depending on what your goals are. Because like I said, these are a good option if you just want to be able to stuff something in your bag and forget about it for 10 years. They're not necessarily the best option if you're looking for the most calories per dollar, you know, something like that. And maybe they're the best option for taste. I'll, you know, let you know in a second once I try these things. But I just wanted to give you a few other, you know, alternatives. Like, say you had a bug out bag and you wanted to stuff something in there to have, you know, a day's or whatever was worth of food. For the survival tabs, you get a container like this. So obviously it's fairly small, and it only weighs maybe not quite 2 pounds probably, but it's gonna run you like 40 bucks. Will last 25 years, and it will give you 100% of a lot of vitamins and minerals that a lot of things don't get. But certainly if you're just looking for calories per dollar, you can beat that. A bag of beef jerky, this will probably run you like 10 or 15 bucks, fairly expensive. This has about 1,280 calories in it. And in this entire thing of survival tabs, there is 3,600 calories. So obviously them saying this is a 15-day supply of food is not really honest if you're talking about pure caloric value. It will keep you alive for 15 days, certainly, but then again, you can survive without eating anything for 15 days. So again, this is just that margin of error. Make sure you get your nutrients and give you something. It's not supposed to eat 2,000 calories of just these tabs per day or something like that. But you can get 1,200 calories so for 40 bucks, you could certainly get a few thousand calories of beef jerky. This stores fairly well, certainly not for 25 years. You don't get all sorts of vitamins and minerals, but you do get your fats, carbohydrates, and protein from this. Not too many carbs, you know, obviously. Just whatever seasoning stuff they have on there. Another option would be to have honey. Now, honey is going to be able to match the shelf life, not in a direct way because it will probably coagulate, you know, over decades or something, but it is something that you can just throw in your bag and not have to worry about for a few years. Pretty dense caloric value too. This little thing here, which is probably just a couple bucks, it will give you 1,320 calories. So 3 of these stuck in your bag will take up about the same size and weight and give you about the same caloric value. At that point, then you're just talking about the different vitamins and minerals that you might not get out of this, or the taste, depending on if you like the tabs versus the honey. Next up, you have something like raisins. This canister of raisins will have 1,820 calories in it. Not a whole lot of other vitamins and minerals, but you do get some calcium, a little bit of iron. So not everything in there, but definitely. Now, peanuts. If you had a can of peanuts like this has 2,000 calories in it, so that's not bad. Obviously, this would last a few years, nothing close to 25, but you could shove one of these in your bag. Then you have coconut oil. Now this is pretty dense calorically. This jar right here, and you could get a plastic one to save weight and make it less fragile, has over 3,300 calories in it. So this is, and it's gonna be cheaper than 40 bucks, that's for sure. The problem with this is, it's really difficult just to eat plain coconut oil. It's not gonna taste good to a lot of people. It may upset your stomach, things like that. So it's really not necessarily the best way to absorb that many calories just by eating pure coconut oil. You can certainly add it to things, but just having pure coconut oil isn't going to be the best bet, but it does show you that there's some pretty calorically dense things out there. And the last up would be peanut butter. I don't have a jar of regular peanut butter. This is just a small jar of almond butter. But if you get a regular 40-ounce jar of peanut butter, like the 6-inch one, that's only going to run you about $5, and that has 6,600 calories in it. So that shows you that if you're just looking at calories, which I don't necessarily think is the best thing to do, but if you're just looking at calories, you can get a lot more calories a lot cheaper. So I just wanted to put that information out there for you guys. But again, are you getting all the vitamins and minerals? It's not going to last 25 years. And would you want to eat just peanut butter? So if you want to, take a look at the survival tabs, because I think it's a good option for the people who just want to be able to stick stuff in your bag or in your shelf, you know, and not have to worry about cycling this stuff out. You don't want to have to worry about, oh, what am I going to do, mix this coconut oil with? What am I going to, you know, how often do I have to cycle out beef jerky and things like that? If you really just want to grab it, stick it in your bag and not have to worry about it, know you're going to get a decent amount of nutrition in a small, dense storage, then it's something to look at for sure. Obviously, if you're just looking at calories per dollar, it's going to be high with the survival tabs, but that's not the only thing that you're buying. You're buying the shelf life, you're buying all the extra vitamins and minerals that aren't going to be in most of the other options that I listed, and you're buying the something that's digestible much more quickly and totally than a lot of the other foods. There's not a lot of extra things in there that you don't digest. They've specifically designed these to be pretty bioavailable in terms of most of the stuff that you eat. So you're going to digest it very quickly and use most of the stuff and not actually have a lot of waste left over. But what I wouldn't buy them for is just to have a food storage plan exclusively based on those tablets. This probably doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and give these a shot. So first up, we're gonna try, I'm not gonna eat the chocolate one because I'm weird and I hate chocolate. I'm not allergic, I just don't like it. I don't like M&Ms, don't like chocolate milkshakes, brownies, nothing. I can't stand chocolate. So I'll probably be giving this sample away on the website. I'll let you guys know about that in the future. So I'm gonna try the vanilla, and I've never been a big fan of butterscotch, so I'll give both of those away. But I'm gonna try the strawberry and the vanilla. So let's give it a shot with the vanilla, and I can show you what this looks like. This is, a serving size normally is 12 of the tablets, which will give you 240 calories, which is pretty dense. I mean, if you get a couple tablets in your hand, this is a third of that. So this would be 4 tablets. And this will give you 80 calories, I guess, right? It's a third of 240. So let's see what these guys look like. Nope, I tore it wrong. Let me get the scissors. Oh, I know what I'll use. Prepper's always got to be prepared, right? So use my cold steel Tie-Lite folder. Let's open this. We'll show you what these guys look like. And it looks like it's in a little resealable bag, but most of the time you wouldn't be getting these sample bags anyway, you'd be getting the larger. So they look like giant, I don't know if you guys can see that, like giant Tums, sort of. And they have the same kind of chalky feel to them as well. So I'm gonna eat one of these. This is the vanilla flavor. You can see what that looks like. See what it tastes like. It's not as dry as I thought it would be, so that's good. Doesn't totally dry out your mouth. Pretty mild flavor. Tastes sort of like a different types of power bars and stuff like that. Not nearly, like I said, not nearly as dry and chalky as I thought it would be based on feeling it. Felt hard and dry, so that's good. Definitely wouldn't be hard to eat, you know, 10 or 12 of these, especially if you were starving. That is another problem though, is that this isn't gonna fill up your stomach. So even though you're getting a lot of nutrients, you're gonna feel pretty hungry if you're only eating these. But that wasn't bad. Taste was definitely past what I would need to get to eat these. I don't know if I would describe it as delicious. That depends on how you feel about vanilla flavoring. But certainly was good. Tasted like just a little bit chalky, kind of multivitamin maybe, with a little bit of vanilla flavoring. Sort of maybe like a protein shake or something, that kind of flavor, but not too strong. And the good part was that it wasn't really dry. That's what I was worried about, was that it would totally dry out your mouth, be all chalky. So let's give this other one a shot. This is gonna be the, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time opening these things. There we go. This is gonna be the strawberry one. So we'll see if it'll actually be red or if it'll just, the flavors in. They probably didn't bother to color them. Yep, I'm right. That would be unnecessary anyway to put coloring in them. So this is a strawberry one. It looks pretty much exactly the same. Definitely more flavorful. Pretty strong strawberry taste. That's good. That one's much better. And these are made in the USA, as you can see on the front there. Yeah, so that's not bad. It definitely still tastes sort of like a protein shake-ish kind of flavor to it, which is probably pretty similar to the type of stuff that's in here. And yeah, it's not bad flavor. I would prefer the strawberry ones probably. I'm not gonna try the chocolate or butterscotch, but for those of you who like those flavors, I'm sure they'll be just similar to these with those flavors. And as you can see in the back, you get a lot of different vitamins and minerals. Vitamin A, calcium, iron, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin E, folic acid, vitamin B12, iodine, phosphorus, so manganese, zinc. So you get quite a bit of different vitamins and minerals, which is that, and the shelf life is what separates this from the other options that I mentioned, like the beef jerky, the peanut butter, that and the ability to just eat these, you know, without having to, because it would be a challenge to just eat, you know, 400 calories of peanut butter. For me, at least, some people might love it. Certainly with the other things like the coconut oil or anything like that, you're not gonna have easy time just chowing down on it. Stuff like the beef jerky and the peanuts would be easy to eat and would taste good, but you're certainly not gonna get 25 years shelf life, and you're not gonna get all the different vitamins and minerals that you find in here. So it's definitely an option for you guys who just want to supplement your food supply with a super calorically dense item that you can easily transport, easily store, and not have to worry about for years, and you know you're gonna get the nutrition that you need out of it. So check these guys out. I have the link in the description box below to where you can check them out on Amazon. This is just for size reference. This is what the canisters are when you buy the full 15 days worth of tablets. But like I said, don't get hung up on the days thing, because I think that's the least important aspect of it. They're just pointing out that that's how you would split this up. Not that that's the only thing that you would need to eat. You know, if you got 10 of those, it doesn't necessarily mean that you would have 150 days worth of food without any issues. You'd certainly lose weight on that. You would probably be healthy, but you would you'd want to have more stuff in your stomach, or else you'd be having a really rough time of it, at least mentally. But definitely an option, so check them out for your long-term forget and set and forget type food storage, or food supplemental storage at least. And let me know what you guys think, if you've had any experience with these or other different types of nutritional supplemental storage that's, you know, really dense or something like that, like bars, powders, and other things like that. I think this would be, a lot of people talk about getting like protein powders and stuff like that. I think these are a much better option than that, simply because you don't have to mix them with water or anything like that. It's probably going to taste better than just trying to choke down dry powder, or just even powder mixed with water if you didn't have milk or anything like that. And they're probably still even going to store longer than most protein powders, certainly, at least what's listed on the box. So check them out, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and stay tuned to rulethewasteland.com, because I'm going to be giving away the chocolate and the butterscotch samples for free to someone, and I'll let you guys know how to do that coming up. So talk to you later.